Hello, guys. Welcome to the Marketing Magic Podcast. This is a live edition. I am here with Kristin, and we're going to have amazing sound. If you were on for the last session, we had some crazy stuff happen, but I hope you guys can hear all of us today. Kristin, say hello. We'll let people, as they're joining, see if they can hear us.
Hi.
Let us know if you can hear both of us. Give us some emojis. If you are tuning into the podcast before, this is not a usual session. I know it's going to sound different. That's because we're doing it live on Facebook, so we're going to have commenters coming in. So if you hear us talking to the commenters, that's why. Stick around for more podcast interviews. But before we go live, I'm going to share it over to our page. Kristin, while I'm doing that, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Kristin, of course. I am a fine art wedding photographer. I specialize in Southern weddings. I also do some like portrait newborn work, like maternity newborn, but I do focus on weddings because that usually transfers into maternity newborn family stuff like that. And I do prefer to build relationships with my clients that helps to build that up, and so I can keep the same people. So I'm really working on building up a regular class. I just rebranded in a way, but other than that, I've been doing photography since 2012. I started in May, so my anniversary is actually about to come up here soon. So I have been doing weddings for almost that long. I got into weddings pretty much immediately. I just knew I loved them, which is, I think, different than a lot of other photographers who kind of stay away from weddings in the very beginning, but I kind of, I wanted to do the very hard things first because I just like that. So I tend to not go the easy route for anything. So I started shooting weddings like my very first year in business, and I really love them, and I want to expand my business more with that and just really work on getting more ideal clients.
Okay, so you love doing weddings as a photographer. I know last time we talked, it's been a while, you were kind of talking about this whole Southern wedding photographer. Is that still the vibe you're going with and kind of the route you want to take the wedding side of your business?
Yeah, definitely. I've redesigned my website, and I put in like quite a few like Southern things, and I've actually gotten comments from potential brides about how much they love the Southern aspect of my website. And so I was so excited when I first got someone mention that. And I was like, oh yes, they get it.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit more. What exactly is the Southern bride vibe you have going on? Describe a little bit more about who your ideal bride would be.
So I kind of tried to do your exercise, like the creepy one, whenever I look through a window or whatever. So I looked into that, and I was trying to kind of imagine, and like what I got from that was, I'm looking into a window, and she has like a really fashionable house. She probably has either like a professional interior designer or she is an interior designer. She has, but like everything is very like intricate, and but there's a lot of like Southern things. A lot of things are monogrammed in her house. She really appreciates like brighter colors, but also like a lot of like neutral tones, but nothing really dark or anything like that. I thought about where she shops, like smaller boutiques, but also places like really color-coded space, stuff like that. And she also really loves Target as like a general store. So that's kind of like what I have so far. I actually tried to send out a questionnaire where like I had like ideal clients and my best clients, but no one filled it out, so that didn't really help me.
Sure.
I still feel like I have a pretty good grasp on like, my ideal client, but I feel like there's something that I'm missing.
Okay, so where do you feel the most stuck at?
Probably trying to actually reach those people. As someone who can't afford like a lot of samples, like I tend to have a lot of ideas, but they all cost a pretty good amount of money. Like if I had my way, I would make sample albums for everyone. Like there's so many things I want to print out. Like I've heard of people going into boutiques and stuff, and and doing things with that, like volunteering to like hang up stuff on the wall. I don't have the funds right now to pay for like all of that type of stuff. I had a full-time job up until December of last year, but starting in January, I've only been doing this full-time. I was kind of forced into it, but I'm also very thankful for it because I was miserable.
Sure.
But I'm still, I guess, very new in a way. So like even though I've been doing photography for years, it was kind of always on the back burner. I didn't put 100% of my focus into it. So I kind of feel like I'm brand new, even though I have a good portfolio, like I have like a solid pretty much grasp on my brand. But I still feel like I'm kind of new because I don't have like a lot of funds, and like pretty much every single penny I make right now is going towards bills.
Sure. Yeah. So you kind of jumped in full feet, trial by fire. Let's get this thing off the ground starting in 2019, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question, so what I think I want to do, which based on what hearing you say that, I think I want to kind of walk you through my 1-by-1 marketing framework, and you're a little bit familiar with it because we've talked before. But I think if we can kind of outline this strategy for you, then I think it would be helpful for you to kind of just take pieces of it and just start working through it. So I feel like you're pretty comfortable with your niche, which is the Southern photography. I know you mentioned you kind of do some other stuff, but your main focus of what you do and probably the bread and butter of your revenue is going to be coming in through your brides, correct?
Yes. I'm actually doing an engagement giveaway right now. So like I have an ad on Facebook put out where I targeted pretty much like my ideal bride. I went through and I targeted a certain age group. I forgot exactly what it was. I think it might be 24 to 35.
Okay.
And then I went through and tagged like a bunch of interests and pages and education level. Because yeah, my bride is educated, so she has at least like a bachelor's degree, not maybe like a master's or beyond that. So I did that on Facebook, and I've been getting, not like a ton, but of course I wasn't expecting that because like I'm doing pretty targeted ads, and then once they get to my website, I want to make sure that they are really attracted to what I have. And so what I'm finding is that the people who are entering the contest are really like my bride. I've been getting like some really good things from that. So I'm in the process right now. I've had 4 meetings. One already has a wedding photographer, but the other ones are looking pretty solid. And I had another entry the other day. So I'm really looking to get those into bookings. I also today actually commented on a post where someone was looking for a volunteer photographer to come take photos of a venue. So I'll be doing that on Thursday. So I'm trying to kind of figure out how I can optimize that to do what I can, like to really impress them and really go above and beyond for that.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a competition type drawing thing going on Facebook through an ad, and they're entering to win. And are they winning the engagement session?
Yes.
Okay. And that's where you're getting the kind of people, and they seem to be your ideal people, the ones who are coming in, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. I love when it works that way. Okay, so they enter in, is it like just using the Facebook ads lead form?
No, I direct them to my website.
Okay, they come to your website, and then what do they do?
So I have on there everything that it includes. And I also have a few other vendors I've teamed up with. I teamed up with a jewelry designer, a hair artist, a hair and makeup artist. Well, there's 2 different people, hair and makeup. And then a travel agent who's giving us credit towards like honeymoon or vacation. And also a personal trainer that's going to do a one-on-one personal training couple session. So I really try to like not only do like something photography related for them, but I wanted to kind of give them like a better experience so they get like a few extras as well.
Okay. I love that. Yeah, I love that. So then what do they have to do to sign up for the giveaway?
I just have a simple lead form, just, like what's your name, what's your fiance's name, when did you get engaged, and like tell me why you want to win. And then once they fill that out, I've been sending them like a longer form. Although for my latest one, I actually jumped right into asking them for a meeting. But that's mainly because it is a lesbian couple, and I've been really dying to get a same-sex couple in my portfolio. And so I really just want to meet with them and try to close it as soon as possible. For all the other ones, I've been sending like a longer form, getting more details about them, about whether or not they have a photographer yet, about how they met, like really getting to know them more. So I'm going to test it out, depending on how well the meeting goes, if I want to continue going with the longer form right after, if I want to just ask that question, ask those questions in the meeting.
Okay, yeah, I was curious, what is the response to the long forms been?
All of them have done it.
Okay, that's good. It surprised me a little bit. That's good though. Okay, so then they do the longer form, and then do you try to get them to a meeting regardless of if they win or regardless of if they, is the ultimate goal to come to a meeting?
Yes, but they're all winning. As long as I go over the form and as long as I feel like we might be a good connection, I'm telling them they won.
They win the whole bundle, or they win just the thing with you?
Yeah. I've talked to everyone. They all have kind of a limit. So the hair and makeup artists both say I can only do X amount of free ones.
Right.
And then I'm offering the credit. So they can use the credit at another time, or they can use the credit for the session. So, but most of the other people are yeah, go ahead and, we'll do it. The makeup artist, the only thing with her is she said that she gets busy around prom season, which is of course a busy time for engagement photos too.
Right.
So, so I'm just letting everyone know that it's dependent on their schedule, but they'll get a credit for later services if they're not available the day of. So I'm always keeping them kind of updated.
So you got my wheels turning. Okay, so they're doing the ad giveaway. You've got this big bundle that you're able to give away multiple things of. They're filling out the lead form on your website, which then you send them a slightly longer form to kind of figure out, are they truly ideal for you? They win the free engagement session, and then I'm assuming ultimately the goal is to book the whole wedding with you.
Yeah, so as soon as they fill out that form, I try to set up a meeting. And so far I've had 4 meetings, and I have about 1 or 2. One person is just she seems really interested, but I think she seems really, really busy. Which of course is another thing that's kind of unique to my bride, is that she is going to be busy because she's a working professional.
Sure.
One of them is in medical school. Another, they both work at staff, so they're all busy professionals. So I just emailed her and said hey, if you would rather text about this, maybe that'd be easier for you. So I'm just kind of waiting for a text from her. And then the other one was just 2 days ago, so she could email me that any day now. So out of everyone who's entered, I've met with 4 out of 6. So even though it's not a high number, I wasn't expecting a high number.
Sure. And I mean, if they're super qualified leads for you, and you're kind of getting them in with almost like a gateway drug through your engagement photo sessions, do you know, based on your work this past year, or even on just the ones you've been dabbling in, how, if you got them on an engagement session, how likely were they to book the wedding with you if they didn't have a photographer already?
I think, so I've actually done this giveaway before. I did it back in 2017, and I got some really good clients from it. I booked one wedding, and I didn't book the second wedding because they already had a photographer, but both of those were some of my biggest sales to date. As far as the actual, IPS after the session, which I thought was really interesting. But it really showed me that, hey, whenever you target, people that do appreciate photography and stuff like that, then you have a better success rate. One of them actually could only afford $500 for her wedding, but she told me, she was like, hey, I love your work. So they won the engagement session. They ended up spending $500 after the engagement session and the wedding. So it was worth it overall. And I also actually have her booked for another session in May of this year. So she's been one of those really good clients. So I feel like a lot of people may not, would have agreed to do the wedding for $500, but I knew that she really appreciated me, but I did find her through the process. So the last time I did this, I did have success with it. So I think the only thing last time that I did wrong, and that I'm trying to change this time, is waiting too long to try to get them booked. So I would wait until after the engagement session, and they had already found a photographer or something like that, or they didn't even think about, asking me, because they just wanted an engagement session from me. So I don't know if there was some kind of block somewhere there, but I'm really working on this one. I just sent out my wedding prices as well as a deal that I set up for March where they get a free print credit with any wedding booking, which I posted on my page first, but I mainly did it for the giveaway. But I did post it on my page first so they could kind of look back and say hey, it's not just for me, this is something I'm doing for everyone. So hopefully I'm going to try to get them booked this month. So I did send over my wedding packages today to them.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So now that you are doing this full time, how many weddings are you shooting to shoot per month? What's your limit, and how long is the wedding season? When are you going to be most busiest? Because I know you're probably entering it now that it's March. Kind of walk through a little bit about the industry for me.
Yeah, so since I did pretty much start in January, so last year I did 2 weddings. I didn't do very much last year at all. My last wedding was in March, and then I did a newborn session in July, and then that was pretty much it for my year. I got really sidetracked last year, and I feel terrible about it. But of course, since I didn't book anything last year for this year, I'm starting pretty much from scratch this year.
Right.
So in January, I've done more work as of right now than I did all of last year. Probably even maybe double. So
you're off to a great start.
Yeah, so I really dove right into it. But it was out of necessity, of course, because I didn't really have a choice. I didn't have any income coming in, so I was hey, I have to make this work. I have to make some booking. So I don't have any weddings on the books right now. All the ones from the giveaway are all getting married in 2020.
Okay.
So I'm really working on just getting something on the books. I would like to book some for this year, but I'm not really sure how to do that. So I guess I'm just trying to get things on the books for whenever I can, and once that starts happening, maybe expand upon that. I am trying to figure out a way to get more referrals. So I'm thinking of sending all of my past clients a referral card and really trying to get that in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll cost me that much to make some 5x7 prints.
No.
And then send them out. So that's one idea I have to do some low cost marketing. So but I'm looking for more ideas kind of like that to really get more working.
So I see, so when I was writing down as you were speaking, I think something I could see really working well for you is figuring out who are a couple things. First, who are the partners that you can work with that can be that referral network? So I think invitation designers, the hair, kind of the people you even brought into for your bundle, the hairstylists and makeup artists who specialize and have a lot of wedding people come in, the travel agents who are booking that kind of thing. You need people who book out about the same length of time. Because I'm trying to think back when I got married, we probably looked for a photographer a year in advance, which is a long lead time for you to have to wait for somebody. So I like that you're building the pipeline now so that 2020 is awesome sauce. So that's the first thing. And the second thing would be, what characteristics have you noticed just in the industry in general, if you know, of brides who do weddings faster, who do because not everybody plans the wedding a year in advance. So what are the characteristics of that bride, and does that fit with the Southern bride? Does that make sense? Because I'm imagining your Southern bride's a little bit more high maintenance. So I imagine they're probably planners for the most part. So I'm curious if that's true to you, what you found too, or is there some wiggle room we have?
For the most part, yes. I'd say that the only ideal client that I've had that doesn't fit is the $500 one. And I really just think that like we just happen to connect on a good level. I think there's like, there's always going to be outliers, but I do think, like you said, the Southern Bride is more high maintenance. She's like a planner. She likes things, like exactly the way she likes them. And, Ty spends like a lot of time, like making sure like her house is clean. Everything looks like spick and span. Everything looks, like really great. And that goes for her as well. So like she's probably not gonna, have this. Like I'm definitely not my office client. Like, if you probably, like whenever you go out, I can almost spot this person. Like if you go to a store and like you see the person, she has like a monogram handbag, like she's in like high heels, like her hair is all, her hair looks great. You don't even realize it's like just like out of the salon. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that.
No, I can totally picture your person in my head too. That's why I was so excited when you wanted to niche to the Southern, because I'm like, girlfriend, they are all over down here. Like we can spot them a mile away and start targeting them, because I love your niche. I can't tell you that enough. Okay, I think another thing that might be important for you, so this may not be like your favorite thing to hear, but you already probably know it, is that one, it's probably going to be slower in 2019 just because you have the high maintenance bride and they're going to be booking further out. But I think another thing that we haven't talked about would be not only making partnerships for the brides long term, but also like the partnerships, like the venues, the dress places for, because they hear like last minute weddings, or like photographer drops out for some reason, like being the go-to person, especially locally, that you can kind of step in a pinch and kind of make those to kind of build up some revenue in this year, kind of on the fly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess how would I go about doing that? Like I always hear about like like offer to do something for a vendor or like a venue or a dress shop or something. The only thing that I can ever think of is to offer them a free session, and then but then I'm thinking like, should I be doing all these free sessions? Like is that the best use of it? Like is there like something that I can do besides a free session, or is that just like the best thing? I know I have, like I have this venue coming up this week. I'd really like to be able to do that and then send them like a vendor card. I did that. I watch Creative Live a lot, and I saw one where they send out like a kind of like a marketing piece. So they print out like 25 cards with like photos of the venue with like the venue's information that they can like put out. But then you put like on the back, like photos by, and like you give yourself credit with like your website, so basically you're advertising the venue and yourself. So I'm thinking about doing something like that. But I'm just not sure how to, should I be offering everyone free sessions? Like, what about the people in the contest? Like, what's the best way to kind of like team up and offer them something without, doing everything for free?
I know. I was thinking about that because if the engagement session is a low cost thing to you, like it's not a huge investment of time and money and if they win the session, do they still have to pay for prints or do they win everything?
No, so the session includes 10 digital files to be downloaded, and that's it, as far as from me. So I will sit down with them after the session and show them all their photos, and they already have the packages, and they already have my a la carte pricing, so they've already looked at that. So they know that they wouldn't have to purchase anything. And I don't really see anyone just walking away with 10 digital files, but I guess that's always a possibility. But I've actually never not sold anything from the giveaway. So like from whenever I did before. So I also ask like in a questionnaire like what they're interested in. So I send them a engagement session questionnaire right after I meet with them, and that asks like which of the following are you interested in, and I put on there like like wall art, albums, digital files, like et cetera, et cetera. And so that also gives me an idea of what they might buy afterwards.
So what I could see you doing, so does it take, is it like a short session, or is it like, do you go multiple locations for the engagement session?
I try to make it as big of an experience as possible. I did one where we spent like a half a day. Like we went out to lunch together. Like
this is why you're a good photographer. However, it may not be the best use of your time for everybody to win that way.
Right.
Like I would almost cherry pick. Like you want everybody to get the same type of service. You don't have to give everybody the same level of service. So, for example, if you send out this questionnaire and you know that they want the whole shebang for somebody they don't have a photographer, go all out with that session. Perhaps limit it to 5 digital images, but they can purchase more. They could, like there's always, but for you, you can bundle all the pictures plus an 8x10 and a digital print for $400. So, something, some kind of upsell could be there to help recoup your time. But then, like, if it's just like you're not sure which way they could go, it could be, we're limited to this radius or limited to this amount of time or these 2 locations. You can narrow it down so it's still worth your time and attracting the people you want, but it's not necessarily giving away 6 hours of your time. And then you have to go edit them and they have to come in. Like, it seems like a lot of work, but I know you do really great work.
Also, I don't do editing. So, like, I send that off. So
okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, so I just started doing that, and I love it because, like, my computer is just really slow.
Oh, I'm sure with so many big pictures, it would probably bog it down quick, too.
Yeah, and I just get so tired of, like, sitting there because I'll sit there for an hour, and I'll feel like I don't get anything done.
Yeah.
So I just started sending off my editing. So right now I'm trying to, like, choose one. So I'm doing, like, free trial. So I actually have done a few sessions, but I haven't paid for any of the editing as of yet. So I'll eventually pay, of course, once I pick my favorite. But, like, I have, like, this whole chart. It's very intricate. Like, it's very detailed. I have, like, all the information, like, all the names of the companies or the people. Like, I have a rating system for them. Like, it's very detailed. But, yeah, like, so editing is not an issue as far as time goes because I'm sending that off. And then, so in my contest, I'm actually telling them an hour to an hour and a half. So I'm telling them, like, the standard session time.
Okay.
But sometimes, like, I really connect with someone. And in that case, like, if they're both into it and we're, like, really vibing and stuff, then I don't mind, like, going more out. So it really depends on how well the session is going. And, like, especially, like, with the guys. So, like, a lot of times the guys are, like, okay, I'm done. I just noticed that the best sales come from the ones where we spend, like, more time together, like, like, it's more of, like, an experience versus, like, going to, like, one location, like, spending, like, 45 minutes to an hour shooting and then, like, okay, I'm, like, sending them home.
So when do you get them to commit to doing a wedding? When do you have that conversation?
Well, that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm going to try, I think, to do it. I've been wondering, should I bring it up in the initial meeting? So, like, whenever we're talking about their engagement session, like, should I also try to go ahead and book them for the wedding, or is that too soon? So I was wondering if that was, like, too much for them to handle at that point.
Right. Well, what I could see, it might be just because they're like, they don't know they don't know they've seen your work, but they don't know how well you vibe, and I know that's probably important for you too. So I could totally see it working where so if you like doing, so here's the thing with marketing. If it's giving you a return on your money, so if you know that you give away the free session, but you're going to book 75% of them are going to become a wedding, which are going to give you X amount of money, even if it's a year out right now, then I would pour as much as you can into those and book up your whole 2020. You know what I mean? If you know it's going to give you a return on your money. The way you could segue it into the wedding would be, they come in, they do the questionnaire, you're going to show up, you start doing the session, but at the beginning of your engagement session, you're saying, like, I'm looking forward to doing the session today. As a reminder, this is what all it includes. This is the time, like, when I'm going to get everything back to you. And, based on how today goes, I would, what I would love to, sometimes I throw together a proposal on what it would look like to do your whole wedding, what we can envision together, whatever the wordage, we can figure that part out. But you know what I mean? So you're planting the seed at the beginning of the session, but not selling them anything, not telling them pricing or anything. And then you just do your session and you just book, when you have that follow-up call, you'd be like, here's your things, are you ready? And then work on that sales conversation comes at that second session with your engagement session. How would that kind of flow feel for you?
Yeah, the only thing with that is like, so whenever I did that before, so I actually had one where the session was like amazing, but by the time we had like their sales appointment, I got to the end and I was like, okay, I'm using my wedding prices, and they were like, oh yeah, we already booked someone. And I was like, ooh, and that was like really disappointing for me. But
so they had booked someone between the engagement and the engagement photos, and when you showed them the photos.
Mm-hmm. So apparently that thing, I don't really know like what happened with that. There's like everything like went really well. I think they must have been like talking to someone, or like it happened to come together like that. I think it had something to do with like the wedding was like a couple of hours away. It's like I don't mind stuff like that.
Right, because you said I know you'd like to do destination type stuff. What would it look like if you were to put even like a checkbox in at like on this second long form you send out that said, would you like more information? Would you like to know more about the wedding package services I offer? And if they check that, then you can send them some of the pricing and info beforehand, and then just bake in an extra 15 minutes at the end of your engagement session. So you come in, you say, I'm looking forward to your thing. This is what we're going to do over the next hour and a half. This is how long it'll take to get your photos back to you. At the end, I want to take 15 minutes to just tell you about how I'd like to work with my client, how I work with my clients. And then in that 15 minutes, you can kind of do like the salesy pitch in like your way of either getting the confirmation on the wedding or setting up a follow-up call for the next week to talk about the wedding. Like at that point, getting kind of more of a firmer commitment and the next thing set up so that you can start booking those consistently. How would that feel?
Yeah, so like I was doing meetings at like the end of February, beginning of March. So whenever I did this, I was thinking, hey, March might be too cold for this. Like March really can go up or down here. Like it can be like really warm or really cold. So of course, like I've been recommending people book their sessions in April or May. So that is kind of far out, or like it was, like whenever I was doing these. So I was just worried that people are gonna find another photographer in that time, which is why I've sent out wedding pricing like today. So
yeah, I think that's fine, because what you could do is, especially like if you keep doing the giveaway and and you say like we need to book it in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever that time range is, because it's gonna be getting warmer, praise Jesus, hopefully soon in North Carolina, right? We're in the same state and it is freezing. But hopefully it'll be getting warmer, and so they can be booking them a lot faster and they won't have that gap. But if there is that gap, like right now, it would just be setting up like almost like an email sequence that kind of ingratiates yourself to them, where they find out more about you, they see more styles of your work, they can see maybe some behind the scenes of something like you've done before, just so that they don't fall out of step with you by the time they get to their engagement session.
Yeah, something I did do differently, like with this giveaway than the other one, is I have been like telling them like what my prices start at the meeting, and I've also been showing them like sample galleries. So like I've kind of been like putting it in their head. I actually had one person ask about wedding packages, but so like now like I'm trying to figure out if I could send her the wedding packages, because she just let me know they were still trying to like decide on I guess the engagement session.
Mm-hmm.
But so like I'm trying to decide like should I go ahead and send wedding pricing to her too, they're still trying to decide about that, or because like I have a special going now for like the $150 print credit. So like I kind of feel like I might send it to her. I mean, I guess it can't hurt, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could always just preface it as like depends if you do it now or like April 1st, depending on what you want to do, is be like, hey, so, I just released this new special for April, or look at this new special, it's going to drop in April. Just wanted to make sure you knew about it in case you were still, since you're still deciding about your engagement and wedding photographer type thing. Just as like more of it's like, hey, here's some information you probably want to know if you're considering me, take it or leave it type thing. Like you're not like, you better do this deal with me or else. Like it's a really easy conversational way to put it out there without feeling icky about it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What other questions do you have? What else should we cover?
What about like things I could do that are kind of like above and beyond for like other vendors?
Oh yeah, let's circle back to that. So I know, I think you know her, Allison Gorham. So something she's been doing that to kind of connect with those types of vendors is one, there's like, I know there's like a hair, gosh, is it a makeup artist and hair expo type thing, like this weekend, next weekend, somewhere in this range of time soon, that she is, it's like just for hairstylists and that, but she has approached them to come on possibly as a vendor, so she can meet all these teams of people who could become referrals for her, or to get, like, you know, she does the headshots and that kind of thing. But also she offered to take the photos for the event for them in exchange for her being there. So it's not really like doing free sessions, but she's already going to be there anyways, and she can one showcase off of her work to all these people and get exposed to them. So doing something like that where it's not just like win a free shadow session, but it's more of like, let's do a win-win for you while I'm still showcasing that. Another option is one of her ideal clients right now is prom season. So high school girls. And so she has made some partnerships locally with some of the big, like, fancy dress, I struggle with simple words, prom dress vendors, boutique places. So to go and set up a table or to do special events, you know, like headshots there of like what you look like in your gown, or come for the file, different things like that to kind of show up there. It's free, but she's still showcasing. She can still hand out flyers. She can still set up a you know, that kind of thing. I can see those types of partnerships you could be making, like you're doing with the vendor where you're going to go. And I totally love your idea for the card is created, because it could be like they can hand it out to all the brides that come in checking out their venue. One thing we didn't talk about, and I kind of wrote down for you, would be like a way to continually be driving in traffic besides doing giveaways is also going to be like your content and showcasing yourself as this Southern bride expert, like the go-to gal. And so like I could totally see you creating something that's like a top 10 list for like whatever county you're in or whatever state you're in, or, you know, whatever the region, if you do the whole Southern region. Like putting that, because I can see Pinterest being really hot for that, and blogs for brides who are literally searching like best wedding location in blah. So start kind of getting some of that SEO credit for brides searching for you, and then also you can showcase specific vendors in here, and then have a reason to reach out to be like, hey, I'm going to be featuring you in my thing. I love your venues. I'm a wedding photographer, and kind of start the conversation that way. Same with florist. I could see you doing one that's like destination wedding to North Carolina. Like, where's the top? If you're going to be coming into our state, what are the best places you should go in North Carolina, or best places you could go in blah, blah, blah. Those types of things. How would something like that feel to create? Because I could I feel like that's something up your alley, and it gives you another reason to reach out to these like really big connectors that will have more eyes on brides in the area, in the region, in your town.
Yeah, so I've had a couple of ideas like when it comes to that. You know, a lot of these things are just like me having to order like materials. I'm trying to figure out how to like do that. But like one idea I had was to do like to reach out to people and also to like interview them, you know, like for my blog. And so I'd really like to do interviews with like local vendors. Another thing,
you should do it on Facebook. You should go live with them. I've seen some ninja moves like that where people become, you don't actually have to be the expert in all the things, but you become the bridal expert in town when you're like, you know, featuring so-and-so florist for this type of bouquet, and I'm going to do an interview where they're going to share it to all of their fans, all their people. You can share it to their page, but you're the one that's the expert. You're the one asking them the questions, controlling the conversation.
Oh, I never even thought of doing it like live, but that's a really good idea. And then my other thing is I was watching something about like getting leads and like lead generator for like newsletters and stuff. And so I was thinking about making like a PDF on like something you said, like top things to look for whenever you're booking a Southern wedding or something like that. And then doing maybe that on my website, and then maybe even doing like an ad for it, where like, you know, like enter your email address and get this PDF. And so like I'm thinking of doing something like that in order to get like people.
Yeah. I mean, you could also, for the lead generation, you could even do like a Southern wedding pose guide and like show like the top whatever poses people would do, because there's a slightly different vibe that Southern wedding gals have than like the buttoned up ones in like straight churches and that kind of thing. So putting together something that's kind of whimsical and fun, because I know you have a fun brand as well, you have a fun personality, that would be something people would opt into that doesn't have to be location specific. You can even have a quiz, like create a quiz that's like, what's your Southern wedding style? Because I'm sure you've got like different pockets of weddings you've seen people do, like what their decorations look like, or what their color scheme was like, or what was it outdoor, indoor. I think there's lots of really fun things that you could play off of to bring in leads, and then kind of work those through your nurturing system.
Yeah. I also would like to do something for the vendors I'm working with for the giveaway. I'm debating like offering to do like headshots for them, or even like some kind of session or something, and then hopefully they can either like purchase things afterwards, or like I can get them to refer me other people as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the headshot thing would be fine if that's easy for you, but definitely like reciprocal referring. Like if you end up having some kind of like you could even have something you call like the top secret. Remind me what city you're in. Are you in Raleigh?
Yeah, I'm in Raleigh.
Like top secret, like the underground Raleigh wedding guide, where you list, like you make connections and you list the top people based on price. You know how like on Yelp it's like 3 price signs for expensive and 2 price signs. Like you could even do something like that, and you'd be like, I'm going to feature you in my guide. I would love if you hear about a bride that's my person, you describe what they look like, to please send them my way. Again, it's just building those connections and playing off your brand. Like I think you could pull that off really well.
Yeah, I guess the only other question I have about like vendors is, and this is something I've had a problem with in the past, is how to kind of like stand out from other photographers, because obviously like the bigger vendors, the ones that are getting like a lot of the brides, they already have like a ton of photographers that they feature like all the time. And I feel like I don't really, I guess, compete with them like on the same level. I feel kind of like I guess not, I don't want to say not good enough, but not like, I don't know, as some of the other ones. So I'm trying to figure out like what I can do to kind of stand out from people who are featured all the time on like these vendor sites.
So I think it's going to be about making strategic relationships with them and doing some of those things where like you're featuring them on your stuff and you're telling people about them. Or like if you're hot on Instagram, resharing their content and tagging them so they see it with your people and kind of stuff. That's how you're going to start getting on their radar initially. And then it's going to be about making those relationships to be like, hey, could I interview you for my series? Or could you tell me about da-da-da-da? I'm doing a special blog post. I would love to feature you type thing. Because your work's going to stand up to anybody else for sure. It's just about you believing just because you're brand new doesn't mean you're not as good as everybody else. They just have been playing the game longer. So let's play ball. So let's figure out how do you do that. And that's exactly how. Start making those, connections and kind of get on their radar so they start to notice you. So that when you do show up and be like, hey, I'd like to feature you, or hey, can I show up at this thing? They're more likely to be like, oh, I've seen you like all the time. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm always like trying to figure out like how to be unique and how to stand out, because like I do feel like a lot of people do kind of the same thing. But I haven't seen anyone do like the marketing calls for vendors. I haven't seen anyone do like the live interviews like you suggested, so I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And I haven't seen anybody truly specialize in the Southern type of wedding like you have. Like even though we're in the South, like that's what makes you different. I love it. Like I think that's gonna be the thing you stand on and die by. I think it's gonna be the game changer for you for sure. Well, have you found this helpful?
Yes, this was awesome. Thank you.
Okay, good. I want to make sure it's helpful. So where can people follow you and find you and stalk you and see all the wonderful wedding stuff you do? Oh, I hope you're still here. You're here.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a phone call and
it does. It turns it black. Not a problem. So I was asking, where can people find you and follow you? Where do you hang out?
I am all over the place. I have my website, which is just my name, KristinManpage.com. I have a couple of different Instagrams. I have my personal one, which is fit photographer Kristin Leanne. And then my wedding one is Southern Wedding Photographer. And my maternity newborn work, which is brand new. It looks really sad right now, but I'm trying to work on building it up. But it's Kristin Leanne Newborn.
Okay, awesome. And then once we come off air, please drop all the links into the comments so people can go follow you as well. Kristin, thank you so much for being a guest on the live podcast, being our guinea pig again today. I really, really enjoyed talking about your business. I really love seeing where you're going with it, and I hope you found it really awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.